In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Let us close our eyes and feel the presence of our Lord. Lord Jesus, our true physician and healer, be merciful to us and bring us your aid in these troubled times. Heal all our sickness and every affliction of your people. Drive out our infirmities of soul and body. Free us from all disease and especially from this pestilence we called COVID. We place in your gentle heart the elderly, the frail, people with disability, children, young people and families, our indigenous peoples, those who are poor, lonely, and isolated. As you walk with us, free them from fear and give them patience and hope together with our loving care. In your mercy, deal also with the causes of our pitiful condition, that in curing our lack of faith and spiritual weakness, you may also remedy our bodily ills. Father of mercies, we thank you for all who care for the sick, the frontliners, the backliners. When they diagnose, give them patience. When they protect the vulnerable, give them your protection. When they work to heal, give them strength. When they comfort, give them consolation. When they are tired, give them rest. When they are discouraged, bring them your hope. O come, Holy Spirit, enlighten the minds of women and men of medical science who are working to find a solution to this viral infection. Guide their research and help them discover what you provide in creation, sure ways of control, protection, inoculation, and healing. And eternal wisdom, guide our leaders called to serve us in our nation. May they respond to the challenges of this affliction with prudence and sound judgment. With foresight, may their planning alleviate the economic burdens, compensate for losses, protect employment, and ensure ample food for the poor and isolated. And merciful Lord, we stand before you in our human weakness. We confess that we have been caught up in the pride and presumption that drives our worldly society. Free us from the arrogance that afflicts our age, for now we stand confounded by conditions beyond our control or understanding. Give us humble and honest hearts to discern the greater mystery of your providence in creation. And may we accept your justice and trust your redeeming mercy. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. And what's up, everyone? Good evening. This is your boy AB, that's Ash Bulldog, and tonight it's a very special night because we're gonna have a lot of fun and we're gonna talk about a lot of things under the sun, especially about life. And I'll be joined by one of the most amazing persons, despite how do you call this? Despite the little amount of time that we've met, like we barely sat and talked to each other like in a very casual manner, but the bond or the friendship is like years or decades now. But later on we'll be learning more about that. But before anything else, I would like to thank everyone who's viewing this live. So if ever you missed the chance, you can still share this live stream. And don't worry, we're gonna post the replays over my YouTube channel and of course on my official Facebook page. That's www.facebook.com/Ash Bulldog Lagon 89. So yeah, so our time is already 14 minutes past 9 this day of Sunday. So it's the 7th of February. So it's the first week of our month of February. And we know when we talk about February, it's like, it's the Heart's Day. So that's a true heart attack to you guys. So a lot of us will be thinking about when it's February or it's the second month of the year, like love is in the air. Like we're gonna see lovers posting on social media. We could see flowers all over the street. We could see a lot of like hearty things. But now we're gonna talk about those stuff along with a very special friend and a very dear person to my heart. And yeah, without further ado, let me introduce you to one of the most colorful friend and a friend of everyone. Let's clap our hands to our very own Macky Duran. And
Hi!
hi, hello, hello, hello. So
Hi! Hi,
yeah,
everyone.
hello. I'm so excited to be talking about a lot of things, especially about you and what things that we're going to discuss later on. So just hold your horses and we'll start off with this very tricky question. How are
Ooh,
you? So, kamusta ka?
how am I? Um, so far I'm doing great in my life. Actually, I'm just alone here, but I'm actually having a great time, even though it's still pandemic. Um, with all of these crazy things that are happening right now, still thankful and still grateful that I'm still alive and I'm still kicking. I'm still working very hard and still chatting a lot of friends. Kay syempre even with this pandemic, we all need someone to talk to, like friends and family. Actually, I've been missing my family a lot kasi I'm far away sa kanila and I'm seeing my mother like seldom kasi she's at work and I'm also at work and we have like different time schedules. So yeah, it's a bit like missing to have like someone to talk to, but yeah, I'm still great. I'm still doing great. I'm still doing fine despite of this pandemic. So yeah.
All right. So basically, that's like my killer question to all of my guests. That's the kamusta ka introduction for everything. But yeah, the first half will be about you, and you mentioned that you've been missing your mother, your family. You've been far away for quite some time, especially now at this pandemic. And you may speak in any languages that you are comfortable with. So don't worry. I'll try put ko mag Bisaya because I know how little Bisaya. No, just kidding, just
Yes,
kidding. Like girl, like
a little bit.
kabalo pud ko mag Bisaya, like konyo man pud ko. No, just kidding. So yeah, so sa lahat ng mga friends natin, if ever you have questions, I'm gonna post something. You can see it underneath there, episode 5. Like, come on, come on. Thank you very much, StreamYard, for this very wonderful ticker. So the question is found at the bottom, and later on the comments will also be shown. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it will be shown later on. So we'll be showing. So here, live questions. We're gonna be showing questions. So that's an example. So before anything else, before we start with the killer personal question. So we had a general or generic killer question. We're gonna start with some simple shout out. Shout out to Bea Royeca. Like she's one of like the fangirls of this episode 5. Like L
Super.
yeah, L Art Styles. Thank you so much for shouting out. So we could just showcase. So here are some of the shout outs here. We can see L Art. We have Bea Royeca. So this is a wonderful feature. So Yan Yan was also here joining us. Uh, Bonnie Gandang Hari. Oh my God! Like I love the
Yeah, that's my
rainbows.
friend. That's my
So
friend.
I'm just gonna showcase you. I'm colorful. I have like every color because this is a very special episode, and we have Hazel with us, and also we have Oy Melin. Melin is
Romelin.
Ramilian, what's up? Shout out to you guys, and we also have like Maria Grace, and don't hesitate to invite your friends to join us. So now let's start with the very first killer question. Let's talk about yourself. So Maki, what is your preferred name? How do you want us to call you? Are you comfortable with Maki? Do you have like a special nickname that you really wanted you to, like this is your dream name. This is something that you wanted to be called for the longest time.
Actually, well, as everyone is mentioning, or as everyone is calling me, it's really Maki. But before, since my real name is Mark Anthony, it's really like, "Ugh." But to be honest with you, my dream name was really like something to do with Margaret, or something to do with like Sabrina, or something like magical, or like mysterious, or like witchy like
Which
names, or yeah, medieval type of name. So yeah, very, very, very loving that name. But yeah.
like Erwin of the Wood Elves, something. So that's
Yeah,
very magical.
very.
Like fairy-ish names like um Valar Morgulis or something like
Yeah.
or Khaleesi of the something like that.
Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, Katniss Evergreen, like like a very weird name. So I could really relate to you because I really wanted to be called something like Aeonix Ashblade or Aeonix Ashblood.
Wow.
It's like very gamey like something. But anyways, let's not talk about me. So you mentioned Margaret. Those medieval names like somehow I could really sense you have like a very um big inspiration about like let's say like English culture or something like the royalty, like what's really trending nowadays, like Bridgerton, like the British
British
how do
accent.
like the British actions like occupying all our social medias, something like that. Why am I speaking in British? But I could really sense, some of the fascination is coming from that, or inspiration is coming from that portion. But yeah, especially I could really feel that excitement when you're being called to something that you really prefer, you're really comfortable with. That's something. It's
Yeah.
amazing because just like you, my real name is Joselito. Like it's a translation of Tiny Jose, and Joselito Lagon Junior. Like the junior would add more, like I'm really proud of my name, but sometimes it's some people would make fun of it. Like since I was young, like Joselito, Tolits, like especially when that commercial came out of the Philippine television, like people were calling me Tolits, Tolits because of Joselito, and then Joselito, like something like that. It's really annoying at some point. But when I grew up, I tried to love the name because it's still a name. I'm so honored to have a name, but to be called someone like Aeonix Ashblood, Aeonix of the Isendale, something like that. It's so
Wow.
like what Lord Aeonix, like Lord Aeonix, we are not worthy to be your opponent. Something
Something
like
like adventure, like
yeah, adventure, like the journey. That's why one of the things that like I've been mentioning to those new to my channel and to those new to this live talk, the reason why I call my channel is AB or live talk with AB, because I'm AB normal. Let's all be AB normal because it's so nice to be different and unique. So AB, it's Ash Bulldog. Ash is like a crazy name because I didn't want to be called Joselito all the time. I named myself after a Pokemon character, which is Ash Ketchum. So that's the story
oh, I
behind.
love Pokemon
Yeah,
so
like
much.
so we have
Oh,
special guests here at the back. But
I
anyways,
love your
let's.
pet.
Thank you so much for loving the the Pikachu's. There's a fake one here, just mimic you.
Yes,
Anyways,
mimic you.
mimicking something, but it's a sad story. But Nap, let's start off with the second question. As you mentioned, you prefer to be called some different from your real name, so that's really understandable. A lot of us have our preferences and comfort names. So I'll be calling you Mackie because that's your preferred name. So Mackie, next question will be, what are your hobbies that can you name three hobbies that you're really passionate about? Like um when I ask you hobbies, and it's automatically eating and more eating, or mukbang something like that. So what are your three hobbies lately that you develop or that you are fond of, especially at this time of the pandemic?
Oh my gosh, it's really hard. Three lang. I could name everything, but like if top three, wait. I must say a Pokemon trainer, a Wings Club fairy, and of course Sailor Soldier.
Okay, so those are so like Wings Fairy are I mean it's something like caught me off guard. Yeah, Pokemon.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Like Pokemon. Thank you. But yeah, so those are three hobbies. Next, name three favorite food. Like especially now, like deliveries is like are the in thing. Like especially last year, like we're heading our anniversary. But please, I hope it will only stay like after this month, or it will stop
oh,
immediately. But what are the three food that you develop your love for? I mean, that you were really craving, especially at the time of this pandemic.
oh my gosh. I would say number one talaga is sinigang na baboy. Like
Ooh. Mm.
especially ang asim na part. Oh my gosh. I would like oh my gosh, I would love to eat that for the whole week. Like seriously. Sinigang na baboy for whole week.
Like seriously.
Next. Yeah, yeah, super. Like my mom, I would always recommend, I would always request that on my mom. Like, ma, please, luto ako, ano, sinigang na baboy. Tapos mga na siya, sinigang baboy na pod. Like, pwede, lahi nasad anak. Eh, murag mahurot na ang baboy sa palengke. But yeah, seriously, sinigang na baboy is number one. Number two would have to be chicken, or yeah, any sort of chicken, like garlic chicken, like garlic parmesan chicken,
Mm.
buffalo
So,
wings, any yeah, chicken. And number three would have to be like, I don't know if that could qualify here, but pancit canton with egg.
yeah, that's
That is
legit.
yes, that is the one that it's actually the reason why I'm still surviving right now.
Ooh, but don't worry.
Super!
I
Like,
have some surprise. I have
yeah,
some surprises to you
actually,
after.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. It's actually every because I'm on a night shift, so every time I'm on a break, I would really cook like three pancit canton, then one egg, one hard boiled egg. Yeah, I can like gobble up 10 the
Ooh,
most. 10 pancit canton the most. Fun fact. Yeah, like
gutom ka, Carl.
yeah, super. Like there was one time, but that was like a long time ago when my appetite was still really like that big. Yeah, I've watched. I did a movie marathon. Then on the midnight, I did like cook 10 pancit canton. Then pagka umaga, my mom would like, asa ang pancit canton diri na stock na nahurot na lagi ang I was like, oops, not me. Magic.
I think the cat ate it. I ate it
Uh,
all. But speaking of pancit canton, I mean a follow up question. What is your favorite pancit canton flavor?
have to be pancit. It have to be like calamansi or chili mansi.
Yeah, with the touch of lemon. Yeah,
Yeah,
with a touch of
pwede
lemon.
rin.
Medyo social tayo ngayon, but later I'll be sharing one of the people behind my drink tonight. So I'll be sharing it to you soon. And also I'll be having a lot of gifts to you afterwards. So we'll just showcase that later on. But yeah, anyways, to those who are just who just joined, feel free to answer the question at the bottom at the ticker. I mean, on the ticker here below, and you can also like, follow, and share this stream as well to your friends, anyone. So now, you mentioned that you've been devouring a lot of pancit cantons, especially
Yeah.
chili mansi and those UTI friendly UTI friendly meals.
Sorry,
Like
guys.
there's like a colloquial phrase that they normally say when you eat a lot, like despite of your build. What's the term? Like it's like the how the locals will say it, like cargador ka girl.
Uy, grabe! I'm so ata. I feel so
Sorry.
ata.
No, yeah, like when they see you, like you're eating, especially like only rice, like places or restaurants. So shout out to any businesses there. Me and Mackie are really waiting for your sponsorship. So if you're willing to sponsor, if you're down to give us meals for us to try, where we're talking our life talk, we're so down. So that's one of the things that you'll be seeing in the next episodes of Live Talk, and it's gonna be Live Talk with mukbang. So hopefully,
Yes, I would
and
love
hope
that.
and definitely you will be one of all my how do you call this? You'll always be one of the top three people that will be joining me with the mukbang, and I'll be sending you a lot of the meals if ever there will be sponsors or some people there that are willing to have us try your meals or your food. But if you want us to try your meals and you can just give us a discount, that's good. But anyways, let's not talk about partnership or sponsorship.
Food.
Para
Let's
kasi
talk about food.
kailangan lang natin isingit 'yun, baka lang 'di ba
Yes.
may some
Baka
might join.
naman.
Kasi just like what Maria Gracer mentioned, that ang sanggupsal daw says like
Oh! Sorry, sis.
so we have a lot of plans, a lot of like especially now on Facebook, like different pages are posting. It's the new in thing here in Davao City. It's the new in thing here. The people will be tagging. Have you experienced that you've been tagged or you're the one tagging friends like, hey, let's try here. And remember, take note, we still have like a Japanese ramen session that I just
Yeah!
remembered.
Yeah, I just remembered. Actually, even like before, like from last year, and even the pandemic started until now, like I have friends like tagging me on like even not restaurants, like just picture of food like, hey Mac, Mac, let's eat this. Hey Maki, I'm like, wait lang guys, hinay lang guys.
Wait, where's our wallet?
During pandemic.
Like yeah,
Oh my
like
god.
devouring food or like voraciously eating them, it's like the in thing, it's a trending thing, and it's something that makes us human as well. Like it's something that makes us happy. So whatever makes you happy, 10 patsit canton, hard boiled eggs, like combo wombo, and then pair it with coke or pair it with this very delicious lemon juice. Diba?
Mm,
Ad,
low key.
low key ad placement.
Low key product placement right
Product
here.
placement rather than wait lang, parang nauuhaw ako. Oh, di ba? Parang commercial
Ah!
lang. But anyways, you mentioned about food, and now let's talk about are you an avid fan of watching series? And if so, what are the series that you're currently hooked to? And can you name three that during the pandemic that those are the series that you've been following, or like after watching the whole series, like you can't stop talking about it? Like for example, me after Game of Thrones ended last, I think 2 years ago, or I think it was last year before the pandemic, if my memory serves me right. After Game of Thrones, I was like, I have this like how do you call it? It's like a post series syndrome that I can't stop talking. I can't stop talking about uh, like a lot of theories was went into like evaporated because you were expecting a lot, you were thinking a lot. So have you had those experience, or have you ever had that experience of loving that series, and what are those series that you're hooked to? Can you name them?
Actually, when it American series ang pag-usapan, I don't really like watch American series that much. Though I watch, but like I'm more inclined into like K-drama, anime, be Thai series, and what else? Like I watched one Chinese drama, but that was like wala pa na ko siya nahuman, or I was not yet finished watching that because I'm a type of person who is always distracted, like somewhat like ADHD kumbaga. Like when I try to watch this, like after like 2 or 3 episodes, okay, I'm gonna skip, then I'm gonna watch another, then after another 3 episodes, like okay girl, I'm gonna work with another one, and yeah, it's okay to kung gitanaw last. Like girl, I was not I'm not really an avid fan of American series, but I've recently watched Fate, the Wings Club saga. That's why I was telling you that I'm a Wings Club fairy, because I'm actually an avid fan of Wings Club even before. Until now, I'm still an avid fan. And when I watched Fate, it was like um yeah, it's not my cup of tea, because it's really different from what I was expecting, or it was different
Mm,
from what was the original, because they said it was an adaptation, or it was like some sort of inspiration. But for me, it's like there are lots of things that happened during that series. One of the characters was missing, and some of the characters were like it does not fit with the um race or something like that. So it was like, girl, Musa is an Asian girl. Why is she not Asian in the series? Like, girl, we need answers. So I was like, I finished the whole series. I finished the whole season 1, but I was like, girl, no,
no.
you have to redeem for season 2. They actually had plans for season 2, but I was like, girl, you have to redeem for season 2, or else I'm gonna cancel you out. Girl, period.
Like, period, girl. Like, nah,
Oh.
no, nah. Like Mean Girls, like no. Like, I tried to, but no. Do you recognize that meme? Like, Thor,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was Thor. Like, yeah.
No,
I tried to, but no. Like,
no,
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 sis.
babe.
Yeah. I could really share the same sentiments, especially I was about to watch that series because I have like tons of series that I need to finish or I need to start first. Like up until now, I haven't finished Legends of the Blue Sea,
Oh
Dots,
my
the
gosh.
Heirs, like those low key. Like see, yeah, I'm a self-proclaimed. I love K-drama, but ever since I started like being busy with a lot of things, and then YouTube came, and then thank you YouTube Premium. So there's this meme that this is the time you're during your off. It's Netflix and me time, and then here comes this tab from Chrome or whatever. You click YouTube. Okay, I'm just gonna watch the new episode of Luna TV, and then hey, I want to rewatch that other video again, and then the whole time you forgot about the Netflix. It's like you're spazzing on a different different
Oh my gosh,
dimension.
we have the same wavelength. Like I am actually subscribed to a Netflix subscription. I have a shared account with my friends, but they they always keep on telling me, "Girl, you watch this. Girl, you watch that. Girl, you watch this series. It's so good." I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch that." But girl, I'm on YouTube watching like nonsense videos. I'm like, girl, why are you like that? You're being paid You're paying it monthly, but you're not using Netflix. Like, girl, so stressful.
Yeah, yeah, like me myself and I. I also have this like a family subscription, so you know how much we pay for that. But normally I just share it with my friends and my partner. Shout out to my partner, Honey, who's sleeping right now. Girl, like
Oh,
low key pasok doon. Para
yes.
thank you. And of
Loki
course,
guilty.
the hashtag love you. Hashtag ikaluud. Like so cringe. Not here, not here. But anyways, yeah, like we have that same wavelength. Like even on Facebook, you know that Loki Shopee-ish, Lazada-ish, or like those Chinese advertisement about like DIYs or those products like
Yeah.
I need this like the how do you call that cheese grater, rice cooker, like those things that you stick on the wall and those kind of things, and then I need this, I need this, I need this, and then I'm gonna scroll more. I'm gonna scroll for more, and then you forget about your. Hey, I should start the series. I should start watching. Um, what was that? Series Waikiki. I didn't even start it. A lot of series are pending because of YouTube. But now, that's one of my struggles, and I think you mentioned it as well. That's one of your struggles. But anyways, thank you for sharing that BL series. So we're gonna talk about that later. But our time is 40 minutes past 9. And huge shout out to Lady Vera or Nekule who's joining us tonight, and also to Gabby and Melanie for Lemon Cares and Co. So perfect to my Pokemon Tumblr. So this you can see here hindi to achara like a lot my mom
Oh
with
my gosh.
Gabby and Mel, like my mom thought it was like achara. She placed like a spoonful on her rice earlier, and she was like, "What is this sweet?" I told her, "Ma, hindi yan siya achara." But it looks it's legit. It's like raw, natural lemon,
It
diba? So
might
take
sound or it might look like a chara, but it's not.
pero I realized, oh nga, no, meron bang lemon sa achara? So I think that's a good market I mean market product that you can add like lemon achara, di ba? Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Like correct girl. But again, thank you so much Gabby and Melanie for introducing me. So I'll be sending you to a 2 jars of their lemon. So you should try it. Let's be wealthy. So now, next question about you is that um, you mentioned you like animes. So what are the animes or what anime that really strike us like made a huge mark or left a huge a hole in your heart, like it may be the saddest anime series that you have watched or that you've been binging, or it's like the anime when you say about anime, it's like automatic. That's for example, if you're gonna ask me Pokemon, I'm gonna say Pokemon, Naruto. um, you can see me in the office before. I will be running like Naruto sometimes, like a weird guy. No, anyways,
Yeah.
what animes that are? Can you name three again? That you are binging, or those are the top three. Like you can really recommend them to your friends, and why?
If anime that marked me so much is always Sailor Moon. It's really on the top most. It's on. It's top tier. It's number one because even when I was still in elementary. I when I first watched Sailor Moon, it was it it was like a magical feeling for me. Like wow, how good it feels like to save someone. How good it feels to like do magic and like just like beat up bad guys and like girl, I must save the day, and yeah, like save the world at the end of the season. Like yeah, and it actually taught me a lot of lessons, life hacks, and it it somehow transformed me into a better person that I was from before. Like before, I was like super tamad, super walang gana mag-aral, or super like stuff like the bad habits that we do when we were still kids. And siguro part of like watching. Sailor Moon and teaching us like good deeds, like teaching us good stuff, it made me like realize like doing these things like it will transform you into a better person, and it would like if you could radiate that kind of personality or that kind of feeling to other people, and you are going to like influencing other people to do things like that as well. So yeah, number two, it would be like yeah, card captor Sakura, guys. Like woo, card captor, guys. Like yeah, Sakura made a magical mark on me as well. Like I am a shoujo type of person, so like yeah, card captor, Sailor Moon, card captor, and number three. That's so hard. There are like lots of um anime stuff that I've watched, like Fairy Tail, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. Um, I actually have a brother. He was the one who influenced me to watch anime because he was like into like Dragon Ball, Hunter x Hunter, the classics, Flame of Recca, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. Name it. He has like tubs of CDs on it, like season 1 episode 1 to 59, season 1 episode 60 to like yeah, he names his CDs like that, and I was like wow, what a fanatic and what a loyal fan you are. Like I was like wow, how can I be like you? But maybe on my side I was like more of like a magical girl thing. So yeah, the number three would be if you know like Peachy Peachy Peach or the Mermaid
Yeah, yeah,
Melody.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think she has like this like pocket something. What was the name?
No, she has
Is it a pocket?
no, she has like a necklace, a
Ah, necklace.
pearl, yeah, a pearl necklace. She has a necklace, and inside it, it's a shell necklace. Then when you open it, it has like a little pearl that transforms into a magical microphone. Then when she
Oh yeah,
she
yeah.
transforms into a microphone, then she transforms as well into like a singing girl, and then she sings her like stuff like that, and she's gonna beat the monsters like yeah, and she sings today yeah, she has like they're like seven princesses that governs like seven seas, like her name is Lucia or Lucia, Nanami Lucia, and she's like the princess of the North Pacific Ocean, yeah. So yeah, she's a pink mermaid pearl princess, and like yeah, she's like saving the day, like beating up bad guys. So yeah.
So Peachy Peachy Peach, or Peachy Pitch. Yeah, whatever. I was
Pichi
I was
pichi pitch.
I was thinking of Peachy Peachy. You know the food. I was like,
Yeah.
girl, like, I'm craving for Peachy Peach. Baka naman, Don Benitos. Anyways, shout
Product
out
placement
yan.
ulit.
Baka naman. So yeah, anyways, I was thinking of Super Boink. I don't know if you have watched that series from IBC 13
Yeah,
OG.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like
Of
you remember
course.
Super Boink?
With
She has
Kuro-chan, Crayon
Kuro-chan.
Shin-chan,
Yeah,
girl.
like Shin-chan, like Kuro-chan. I could even remember what was it was Salbakuta who sang the
Yeah.
introduction to Kuro-chan, right? And who's this the voice behind the Tagalog adaptation of Shin-chan? Andrew E. Um
Andrew.
what's the name of his mom? Carmen. Yeah,
Oh my
Carmen.
god. Oh my gosh. It's all coming up to me now,
Oh,
guys.
it's like throwback, like throwback. That's a really good topic in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing those colorful anime. So I could really say so guys we could really see how colorful the inspirations of Mackie here, especially with the animes and also the series that she's been watching for quite some time. And yeah, I think it's really good that part of our education, because especially now at this current setup, it's a really nice thing to integrate like visual learning, like okay class, or like during online class, right? You could we're gonna watch Coco Melon. Or we're gonna
Oh my
watch
god.
Sailor Moon next week. Like because
Yeah.
it would be something that it's nice aside from you want to have like the early 90s fashion. Like shout out to Melin, like Melin, we should do like the ukay and then we post like the
She's my ukay
90s.
partner. She's my
Oh,
ukay partner.
we're gonna ukay then. This is like everything is ukay from top to bottom, even from the rack, so you can see
Yeah.
like ukay is life. Why kwarta uy.
Yeah. Flora catalog shout out. Product
So
placement.
yeah, product placement. Ganun na. Baka naman. So yeah, to those who were not familiar, I think Mackie mentioned earlier about sojo, and sojo is girl, and it's more of the theme of the anime. It's revolving about the story of a girl, or it's girlish. So I think correct me if I'm wrong to my tomodachi who are watching right now. So just correct me if I'm wrong. And shonen is also another I think one of the genres of comic, like it's like comical, a comic genre. It's like fun, and then suddenly it will be serious. So I'm more of a shonen fan, and sometimes if I really wanted to cry my hearts out, it's like eat your what was that anime? Eat your pancreas.
Uh, i- I'll eat your pancreas.
Oh, yeah, it's a weird.
Yeah, pancreas. Something to do with
So,
pancreas.
to all the otakus there, you can comment what's the correct title, so
Yeah.
below. And yeah, it's um I got a lot of questions as well, but we're just going to limit it because later on it's going to be the crying session. So now let's talk about who is your favorite actor, and also who's your favorite actress, both locally if you have some. Sorry naman sa mga local artists natin dyan, or influencers that you're following, and also international ones. So you could name only one or at least one of them, and why. Why do you follow? So something that would really allow us to also look after or look up to those people that you are following as well.
Artist, you mean artist like in acting or artist
Oh yeah, yeah.
like
Let's focus more on the act the actors, those actors and actresses. Like for
hmm.
example, Nadine Lustre or Sharon Cuneta sa Hirap at Ginhawa Moments, or Lea Salongas. Sorry, OG. OG low-key
Yeah.
naman tigo pangwanggit. But yeah.
If actress that I have to say Lea Salonga because of her epic and very spectacular um
Oh my god.
representation of Miss Saigon. Like
Oh my god.
that was the one who that really made me applaud her so much. If we're talking about actresses here, right? So yeah,
Yes.
Lea Salonga. Like,
Mm.
girl, you were amazing. And the way she speaks, like on her interviews, I actually just watched a while ago a part of her interview. Like she was like doing a British
Speaking in
accent.
British, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
British. Like
Oh,
that was like
what? Like amazing.
yeah,
That's
amazing.
Aussie there. That's Aussie pala.
Yeah, it's not British.
Well, my British. Well, what's the water? What's
But yeah,
what's
like
the lemon?
Lea Salonga was like
Yes. Legit.
very magical, and the way she
Top tier.
sings. Let's not
Like
talk about it. Let's talk about it another
like
topic
episode.
because
Yeah, we're gonna have like reaction videos series soon. Watch out next month. It's gonna be a fun filled channel. So watch out for
yes,
us. Also, I'll still be inviting always Mackie during her free time, especially now in this pandemic. There's no excuse.
yes,
You can
I'm
say,
always free.
I really need to go out. Like, yes, girl. Like, seriously, curfew is waving. Hello, PNP. Shout out to PNP at the Canto.
Shout out,
Shout
shout
out
out to
to po.
TMC and CTTMO and to all of the PNP personnel that are
Shout out to
working
our
right
ID.
now.
Shout out to our IDU. That
Oh my gosh,
low
ID pa
key.
more.
Hashtag. Okay, baka madami nanonood. But yeah, thank you so much. Naman anyways, that's not. Singer or performer, aside from Leia Salonga, you mentioned about Leia Salonga. So, let's talk about actor or actor. Do you have someone when we talk about actor? It's gonna be Brad Pitt, like the OG actor, or Leonardo, Leonardo da Vinci, Leonardo DiCaprio, or something like
Leonardo da Vinci. What?
artist, artist ka girl.
Wait, actor. Wait, if I would to pick one, I think it would be. I would say it. He's a K drama actor. He's a Korean actor. Um, wait. I think it's Kim Soo Hyun. I don't know if anyone knows him, but I he's a popular one. So I know you guys are who are watching right now knows Kim Soo Hyun. Like the way he portrays his character in It's Okay Not to Be Okay. That
Yeah,
was like one of the most like dramatic and emotional K dramas that I've watched
last year.
during the pandemic. Yeah, during the pandemic, and yeah, I'm gonna like seeing it that series some top three because it it like talks more on the social issues. Like it's not just um it just not it does not just like talk about one person, but it's actually relatable to everyone. Having
Yeah,
like those kind of depressive episodes or like traumatic episodes or emotional episodes. Like yeah, I could really relate to it, and the way Kim Soo Hyun portrays his character there, it was like amazing, and the way he is being partnered with is very like
uh,
spectacular. And
mm,
yeah, the series itself, the series, the casting, the plot, the storyline, the setting itself, it's like amazing. And yeah,
Kim So Yoon. Yeah, like
yeah,
legit, Kim So Yoon is so good. Especially, I was his fan. I became his fan during his produce. I don't know if you have watched that series, so
the
where
producer.
the producer.
Producer no
Yeah.
one.
Ayaw ay ka girl.
I want ka girl.
Oh, mag-disband ba sila karon. Oh, fingers.
Sad.
Sakura. Sayonara
Yeah,
Kudasai. Pero anyways, Kim So Yoon there, like super, 'di ba? Para siyang parang konyo muna tayo, like legit. Alam mo I was squealing. I'm this kind of guy. I even shared like moments with my partner via, I was rewatching some scenes from the producer. I was like, you remember that umbrella scene where where he approached I mean, the typical Korean, like the slow mo, and then you
yeah,
grab it. It's like I was like staring like I'm gonna show you a part of me on how I get the Twitter patter, or the kilig. When
yeah.
I like I always do the like, yeah, seriously, like
Ooh.
if you're gonna watch with me, I have that part of me that I really squeal, like legit, I'm blushing, like I was like
Yes, sir.
like the Koreans are like, oh, oh my god, oh my god. Korean girl,
Oh
like the influence.
my
But
god.
yes, there's like the moment was just like that, and the sound, the soundtrack and everything is like, but Kim So Yoon there, and I was like rooting, like, please, if Taeyang did not like Ayu back, like, I hate you, Taeyang, I hate you, but I still love you.
Hoy! Come
Yeah,
back, bang, please.
pero ano siya, para alam mo yun, ang nangyari daw yun, it's like kuya zone, na kuya zone daw si Ayu.
Yeah, super.
'Cause I became a fan of Taeyang more when I saw those clips of Ayu crushing on Taeyang a lot. So I was, because I got a huge crush to Ayu, and shout out to all Uenas there, fellow Uenas. And yeah, naging mas naging fan ako lalo when I saw Taeyang there, and then it's like, oh my god, like, girl, ikaw talaga, that's the right bias, like, correct. But after knowing the story behind, like, what was the song, the three octaves higher.
Today?
Yeah, good day.
Good
That's
day, yeah.
some theories or some fan theories were talking about that's a song for Taeyang, and then Taeyang was the guy from the music video, like Kuya zoning IU, like
Yeah.
girl, no, kubaga, no, and then oh my my ship sunk like big times, like oh my god. But anyways, let's not talk about it. But yeah, Kim So Yoon so good, especially um that line. I haven't watched that series as well, but it's in my top five that I'm really gonna watch because I'm this kind of person. I don't want to go with the trend. So I'll pick
Yeah.
up my pace of watching it. So I don't want to be spoiled. Or if they're gonna spoil it to me, I'm gonna be their number one spoilers to other series. That's what I did.
Oh!
I'm that
Dang.
I'm that I'm that kind of guy, or I'm that kind of person like you do not do that to me.
You do not
Like
care.
girl, you're waging war. Like like dude, not me. I'm like savage. Like so I
Girl.
have my crown there. It's like, but seriously, I don't want to be spoiled. But sometimes, if I can't wait anymore, like give me some reason why I would watch this, and then, um, yeah, like my partner will always share to me like, I already finished the series. What? You finished the series already? I thought we are gonna watch it together. It's like, no, I know you can watch it. Like, okay, I'll just put it on the pending list. But yeah, anyways, it's already 10, so we're going to have a continuation after a short break. So we're gonna have Mackie have a quick water break or powder break. Social tayo powder break. We're gonna visit the powder room, ganun ang mga moments. So, don't go anywhere. Ayaw mong pangatik diha, nalaman sa mga balay.
Guys, don't leave me, guys.
Wala
Please.
skip ad dire. This is wala skip ad dire. So ayaw me skip. So we're just going to have a quick break. So stay tuned, guys. So we'll be right back only here at Live Talk with AB and with my partner. Where's the asan ba? Baliktad. With my partner Mackie here. So yeah, we'll be right back. So stay tuned. And we're back, everyone. And this is still your boy AB with me, Macky, on my left. Tama ba? On my left. Anyways, earlier, wait na, parang nakamute ka. Macky, parang nakamute ka. Oh, di ba?
Yep.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, guys.
But yeah,
I'm
anyways,
just overwhelmed.
earlier we were talking about Macky liking a lot of things, and those are the things that I'm really fascinated or interested to know about a lot of people, their interests, how do they like how do they cope up with the pandemic, because a lot of people, like, like last year, I know a lot of people were struggling up until now. Pandemic is something that we were not prepared for. So now, this second hour of live talk will be dealing about the theme this month, or the theme of the live conversations, which is all about the topic that is being screened or here at the bottom on the ticker. So the question now, so let's just lower the volume about the crazy Korean songs. Excuse me.
Oh,
Yeah,
excuse the Korean song.
wait lang muna, wait lang muna chingguya. Wait na, bakit bigla lang siya like Korean real quick. But yeah, we are gonna talk about the topic proper in the second hour. So to those who are watching, thank you so much for joining us. You can feel free to also comment, and if you're too shy, you can also send me a message. Comment on the
Slide us
live feed.
DM.
So size DM lang po. Here's my Instagram. Here's my WhatsApp. Oh, chismis. Uy!
Hoy, chismis ka dyan! Bakit WhatsApp ang gamit mo?
Yun ay kailangan sa work. No, work.
Akala ko Viber ang gamit.
Oh no, like, let's not talk about work. Shout out sa
Okay.
mga, shout out sa mga boss. Hi mga boss. Baka naman, I mean, Chris. The joke lang. Anyways, a lot of things happened about pandemic, and we've been seeing a lot of like depressing posts, like like articles everywhere, like even our friends are affected, especially those who are not same. For you viewers, or for the viewers out there, me and Mackie are in the same company, so uh, we're so glad and we're so blessed to still have our work, our jobs, paying our pancit cantons sessions, and our hard-boiled eggs, and our Netflix subscriptions and those stuff. But yeah, a lot of people were so how do you call this? We're caught in that turmoil about their this pandemic, and it's something that's saddening. That's why I came to the point that I want to talk about people. I want to talk about life. How do they cope? How do they deal with this pandemic, even if in their own simple ways? So that's the reason why I thought, how what if I ask, or I interview people about their point of views, or their thoughts. So now the question goes for you, Mackie. What is love wins for you? Love wins, like, or in general, what is love for you? Like, it could be anything. And then can you care to expound para in 5 paragraphs, so diba, parang online class. Shout out sa mga teachers.
Wow! Parang ano lang,
Module.
written exam.
Written
Written
exam
exam. Oh my
with
gosh.
RRL po.
Uy, chismis. Naka-move on ako, charot. Anyways, yeah, love wins. I know that some of you guys have been hearing like
Yeah, what's the
the
hashtag?
word, like, yeah, hashtag love wins, and it's like related to like love with the same sex, or the yeah, everyone's love or whatever, but it's more of like kumbaga it's associated with LGBTQ community. So yeah, but yeah, love wins. It's more of like in a deeper sense for me. It's like eh, actually all of us have like different perspectives of love wins. May iba love for the partner, may iba platonic love, may iba love of friendship, may iba love of service or whatever it is. But as for me, on my own perspective, it would have to be my mother's love, because yeah, that as what I've said a while ago, I really miss my family, especially my mom and my dad. And during the pandemic, when I started living independently, that was like last year. I actually started like the first month to be exact. It was like, yeah, it's actually liberating. It's actually like, yeah, how it feels so good to like live by yourself or by the company of other people. But as time went by, it was like, it was more of like, depression like started to hit me rock bottom. So I was like, yeah, what's happening to me? Or like how did I like arrive at this kind of feeling? Or what, why did this happen in general? So I was like started questioning myself. So actually I did distract myself from like everything. Like I started doing things na I was not
Yeah,
used
normally
to.
doing or
Yeah,
used to.
yeah, outside the comforts of my home. So yeah, after those, I was thinking na, oh, baka siguro ano lang, baka siguro um ano lang yung parang kumbaga routinary lang yung ginagawa mo every day. That's why
Mm.
you're feeling like that. There are like some of my friends like, just like gawas lang sa balay, or like let's talk or whatever it is. Like yeah, but I actually do go outside a lot. But at the end of the day, when I like before I sleep or before I go to bed, I still have that kind of feeling na kumbaga it's very sad. It's like very like it's choking me from the inside. So like I was like, what's this? Why is this still happening to me? I did everything that would distract me from this kind of feeling, but it's still there at the end of the day. So it was like, yeah, I should like contact my mom maybe, or maybe like makipagkita sa kanya, or like yeah, have like some time or some coffee with her. So yeah, November, that was like October or November that I started like seeing my mother. And actually I actually did online classes. I actually took
Mm.
yeah, I actually took education units because I also have like other plans in the future. So and one of the reason is for that I have like other plans. But other another reason is so that I could distract myself from that kind of like depressive feeling, because I've had like depressive episodes. Like even though I have like my companion here, when she was still here, kasi umuwi siya sa kanila. Even when there are times na nag-uusap kami, or like we're having like casual talks, when she was working and I'm about to go to sleep, I'm like inside the room, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm still sad. I'm still like left with this kind of feeling. And actually there was one time na it was actually tulog ako sa umaga. I'm sleeping in the morning, then she's at work. Yeah, and when
Mm.
she is actually when she's actually I'm having a video chat with her family, I'm like, what's
Um,
parang yeah, you know yung feeling na, why why would I feel like why would I feel sad?
correct.
I would feel happy for them, but I would feel sad for myself at the same time. It's because I I miss that kind of feeling, like laughing with my mom or laughing with my family. So yeah, I started going to school or like online classes on weekends so that I could distract myself. So yeah, I was really preoccupied, super to the point na I broke down in tears. There was one time na I was I we me and my friend went outside and like did stuff. Then we went to church and like
Mm.
prayed for good grades. We prayed that hoping, and we're actually hoping na makapasamiglet. And yeah, then when we went home, and before I slept, and I played some a music, like it's actually from Laura, it's Blessings by Laura Story. Yeah, Blessings. When I tried to play that, I was like, ah, my tears broke down. I was like, why? So yeah, tears came running and running, and it was like few hours before shift. It was like, what?
Why now?
Why now? Why of all the time of the day when I should be able to sleep? And suddenly I broke down into tears. And yeah, that was like one of the times where I really broke down. So yeah, after that incident, or that happening, I called my mom. I said, Ma, like, let's talk, or can I have some time with you, like, for just for the whole day. So yeah, she said like, sige nak, after pero wrap ako yung work, can we like schedule it on a weekend? Okay. I'm so busy at the weekday. So I was like, yeah, sure. I can probably go on with a weekend schedule. So yeah, she's actually I'm so proud of my mom, because my mom is a very religious person. She's actually an active person, an active devotee of Couples for Christ.
CFC.
Yeah, CFC, and she's actually a provincial head sa how Handmaids of the Lord. Actually, it's like a group of like women, or like married women, or widowed. So mga nana nga klase nga group of people who are actually worshiping God. And she's actually a busy person then on the weekend. So I'm actually worried that time. I was actually worried if I would occupy her time, but I was when she told me like, yes, I you could like we could have like a talk on the weekend. That was the time, like, oh my gosh, like parang nawala ang
Mm,
isang tinik sa
no,
heart
like
ko.
from your heart, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that was like yeah, it really did um went away some of my painful feelings that I've been feeling. So after that, we talked on the weekend, and I actually um told her about everything, the depressive episodes that I've had, the achievements that I've had during my online classes,
I
the time that we had, yeah, the time during my work, and yeah, everything that's happening to me. Yeah, I actually shared that to her, and she was like, "Oh, Nak, you're really growing up so fast, and I'm so proud of you." Everything. When she told me about that, I started to cry in front of her, and it was like, "Oh, Nak, everything shall pass, and I'm going to pray for you." And that was like the most, or the best feeling that I've
really
ever had since the pandemic. So nothing beats a mother's love for her
correct,
child.
correct.
That's something that is irreplaceable. That's something that is indestructible. Yeah, you could say na, oh, I have a jowa, we love each other, we would go for a long time. Yes, we are married and some stuff like that. But the day that a mother has conceived you in her womb, that was the day that she loved you the most.
Correct.
And
For 9 months, like
yeah, for 9 months, and the day that she like niluwal kanya, and you were
sa
born.
sinapupunan.
Yes, and that time was the most magical moment for her. And yeah, I could really say that a mother's love is unbeatable by anything, any kind of love. Well, aside from God's love, of course, nothing beats a mother's love for her son and for her child. So yeah, I think that is, for now, that would be the kind of love wins for me. That is
Oh,
my real definition of love wins. So yeah, mother's love. And
So
I know some of our viewers here also have this kind of like perspective, because I know some of the viewers have like love life, hashtag sana all. But yeah, but we also have like some viewers here that I know, my friends, who are also who also have this kind of feeling, like have this kind of relationship to their mother. Mother's love is like a love wins for them. So yeah.
I just want to hug you. Yeah, like I'm a hugger. Like
Oh my gosh!
I'm a
Wait,
hugger.
wait, no, no, not this time.
Like I really just like what Ivy Loon Saberon here said, that hugs, like it's this
Mhm.
powerful warmth of a friend's hug, and it's something that would always remind us of the warmth that our mother, especially I'm a mama's boy, like
Yeah.
I also had this dark moments last year or a year before, like seeing my mom like struggling with her own inner demons. It's something that I'm really proud of, because I've known her for like the longest time, and then there was years that I was absent from her, like because I embarked on a different journey, and then going back here, like she's actually at the other room, like so it's not really easy. I salute you for that, and I really admire you for really speaking up about, I'm talking about depression. Like it's something that not most of us, even our generation now, even the millennials, do not have this this wide or deeper understanding of how difficult it is. Some people would even think it is just a joke, because especially to us,
Really,
the colorful people are tend to be those people who they deem someone very strong in terms of like emotions, very positive at anything, but they really they strip off this um weakness of ours, that we also are human beings, that we also have our downfalls, as you mentioned, like the depressive states. It's not really easy to deal with the absence of our loved ones. The distance is really something difficult. That's why I myself, when I learned my mom was not really doing well in terms of dealing with her mental issues, so I decided, despite of how big the paycheck is from my previous job before, I really had to go home and look after her, because as what you mentioned, the love wins, that's also one of my perspective when it comes to love wins. I'm willing to do everything for my mom, and it's something that I'm I deprive her the most, especially those times or those years that I was not beside her, especially when she needed someone to talk to. Like it's just to share to everyone, and it's something that I really wanted to people know, that my mom is clinically depressed, and it's something that I'm advocating to really speak out, or really speak of. Especially, it's not simple to even like sharing, it makes you tear, and then your heart is wrenching so bad that you would just remember some moments when your mom, or for example those moments you had with your mom, and it's really um difficult. It's really difficult, even especially now when mom, let's go out, you can't really go out that easily, because there are a lot of restrictions, like the protocols of the government and etc. And it makes it sadder. But the one thing that I appreciate more about um what happened last year is that I had the chance to really have this quality time with my mom, even if sometimes she would not recognize me anymore. So that is something that it's really difficult to deal with every day. So but
it is something that I pull strength from. As you mentioned, that's really nice when you put. Really want to take that from what you shared, when your mom was so um grateful for you reaching out to her, is despite of, for example, you had a very bad there are other people who had experiences, bad experiences with their parents, especially with their mom. They're not talking to each other so much. But when the pandemic started, or when this whole virus happened, like people were is more outgoing or outspoken in terms of reaching out to their parents, especially their moms. It's really something that would remind us of, let's always appreciate the time we have left with them, because it's not always something that we it's how do you call this, it's not always there, because who knows what the future holds. That's something that I always fear of. The time is something that I value, but that is something that also I'm afraid of. Time is something that always moves forward, and we can't stop it for, because again, as the anime of Mamoru Hosoda, the girl who left through time. This is my one of the things that I always um remind myself of. Time waits for no one. Like, time waits for no one. And then it's really nice of you sharing that. And it's something that you really cherish the most, like the moments with your mom and your parents. And I hope a lot of our viewers also would take a period of their day, spend it with your loved ones, even for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and just even saying hi, or like send a video, if you're far away. And it's really inspiring to know that you're doing that with your mom. And I salute your mom, to Tita Duran. Thank you so much for bringing us Mackie. Mackie is such a nice person. It's such a bakit parang ganito yung utak? But when you shared it, it's something that, why did you have to share that? And it's something that I struggled the most when I became very selfish before. When there are some dark episodes from previous year. I just wanted to lie down and then stop everything. I just don't want to move anymore. But then you hear or remember you remember your mom, like on the next room or somewhere in any parts of the world. For example, you have OFW relatives, or your parents are outside of the country. It's the absence sometimes fill ins the gap. And then that person, when everything happened, um you think of something that, wait, there's something that's going to fit here in this distance, or this blank space between time. And the distance will be filled in by um this thought of reaching out. So the distance of time, like the physics of everything, diba, physics real quick. Or dun ko din na realize na we're not getting any younger, our parents are not getting any younger. And then sila din yung nagiging source ng ating strength, especially now at this time.
Exactly.
And it's very nice din na, and it's really worth mentioning. And it's like the whole theme, you hit it in the bullseye. Like, we all we it's really I don't want to discredit those, for example, very vocal on social media about their partners, and then love wins, like hashtag sana all, like hashtag sana all. But we tend to forget that there is this person who loved us first, that uh, that gave everything. Like, I don't know if you have watched Miss Granny, like the Korean drama.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Granny,
Yeah,
like
I did.
that moment when she was there was like flashbacks with the dad.
Yeah, that was like one of the most
Like, oh,
beautiful scenes ever. I was like, huh.
like we watched that in SM Cinema during the Korean Film Fest. Like we miss shout out to Korean Cultural Center of the Philippines. It's really touching, and also other films that when it comes to like parents or especially moms, like old moms, like shout out to our old mom and mga titas and
Yes.
lolas natin dyan. But it's really something. It will always have a huge um mark, or it will always like strike us the worst at our lows when you mentioned. So now you let's make it more sadder. Make it more sadder. Let's make it sadder rather. Um, was there a time that you would like to share? Like, was there a time in that um, you you and your parents fought so bad that you just what was the most heartbreaking moment that you had with your parents, probably with your mom, that you would like to share, especially you're a mama's person as well. So how would you what was that experience, if you like to share?
The hardest experience that I've had. Actually, there were actually a lot of times when I was still on the comforts of my home. Um, there were there are lots of times where me and my mom argued, and actually, this is something it's actually very hard to share, if,
Oh, yeah,
especially
go ahead.
I'm very like very sensitive when it comes to like moms, but um there was one time where like we argued something about something to do with my dad, because my actually share na lang po ako actually my dad before, he has like this tendency of like I don't want to like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
promote this one, but there are times na like chick boy siya. There were like there were like scenes or episodes in our lives where he was on that like that episode, and my mom was like she was like just she was just calm, and I was like,
no.
why, like why that was like, mom, why are you letting him do that? Why are you letting him like, kind of, yeah, do that, something like that.
Do something like.
Like, yeah, I was actually like, that was actually in my during my college time, and that actually even way before I was born he was like that. But
Mm,
my mom was just very like very patient. My mom was just very um just like a loving, she was just very considerate, even if how big or how small your sins are, she would forgive, because um
the influence.
what's her her actually her perspective or her principle says that even how grievous or how big your sins are, you have to forgive that person, because that you actually love that person, no matter how evil she is, or no matter how grave that sin is. If you love that person, you would always like, at the end of the day, you would always forgive and forget. She was that kind of person. So we came to like a moment or a situation where I like really was on the peak of my anger. So I was just shouting here and there, and she was like, "Okay, that's enough." Like she was just she just started crying, and I was
Mm,
like, why did I like do that? And basically she just like broke down in tears. She was just like, "Stop. I actually can't do it anymore, but I'm doing this for my family." So like Yeah, she just did that. She just said those words, and it actually made me like super. I was really like nakonsensya ko sa iya because of what I did, what I said, without me realizing how like how big her love for my dad is, and how big is her love for us, for my family. She would not let our family be ruined just because of that.
Right.
She really values family so much because that's what she's been teaching us all this time, that no matter how big your fault, or no matter how big your sins are, at the end of the day, it's still your family. It's still you would always run to your family when times get in, when you have troubles, or when times
On
do get
tough
rough.
times.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was like a turning point for me, that I suddenly realized, yeah, I should just like let my mom do her thing, because she knows better than me. Moms know best. So yeah, after that, like after several days later, like my dad, like they were talking to each other, and I was still mad at my dad that time, but it was like growing up to me na you should forgive and forget. To be honest with you, I'm not that kind of person who easily forgets, but I'm a forgiving person because that's what my mom told me. So yeah, my mom just forgave him, and everything went on, and she was like actually all this time she was like praying for my dad, even when I was still not born, even was yeah. So like even before that, she was praying for my dad, that that he would change ways, and he would like surrender himself to God, and like yeah, surrender himself to everything. And yeah, actually my mom is just an amazing mom. It's because uh that was like in 2014 or 2015 or 2016, when I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, that her prayers were really answered,
Mm.
because my dad joined Couples for Christ. He like convinced my dad to join the organization. So I was like, wow, how amazing of a mom she is. Like she would not like give up on our family. She would not give up on my dad. Like yeah, she was really amazing. And there was actually one time that I was hospitalized. That was March 2018. I was diagnosed. That was the time that I was diagnosed with depression, panic attack, and electrolyte imbalance. F- Those three
Those
attacked me so hard that I just broke down in tears every day in the hospital. And when I on the last day, when we were about to like pay for the bills and everything, I was the one who paid for my bills, because I know that it's actually my responsibility. I don't want my mom and my dad to like but like bother them with that. So yeah,
Financials.
with financial problems. So I was the one who handled everything on the payments. And after the last day, like the last hour before I was discharged, I was like crying down. I was like I broke down in tears. Like I shared everything to them. Like yeah, I've had this kind of I don't know if I would call this an illness or not, but yeah, I've had this like kind of thing. Like I have depression. I've I've had this panic attack. I've had panic attacks actually until now, but it's like bearable. But the depression is there, and until now, I'm still experiencing that. But I'm I mean, all of us are battling our inner demons, but we all have like different. you know, in inner
Ways of
demons in us. Yeah, also have different ways of coping up to them. So yeah, seeing my mom and like talking to her was like one of the best things that I've ever experienced during the pandemic, and that was like something that I've and that episode or that moment when we fought and when she like broke down in tears and like she was about to give up but she said no. That was like an eye opener for me. That was a turning point in my life that changed me a lot as a person. And yeah, that was one of the amazing things that just happened to me, that just happened in my life. So yeah, that I think that's it.
Wow, it was just a roller coaster of emotions, especially when you started sharing about the experience with your dad. I was caught off guard. I was like, it's so similar to a lot of us that have experienced that part of our lives, especially when we were growing up. It's not really easy to deal with that every day, knowing that it's not easy, especially when you see your mom trying to be strong, but there is a human in them that is still experiencing the pain, and that's something that I always look at every day. Like every day when I see my mom, like it's really difficult, especially to all our viewers. Like if ever you needed someone to talk to, or if you really need, or if you know someone that have experiences just like what Mackie shared, um, please, it's no joke. It's no joke to be laughed about, and it's a serious thing that we really have to reach out to those people, because it's not easy. It's not really easy to even that's why Mackie is so strong, one of the strongest individuals that I've known. Like a lot of my friends from the LGBTQ are those that I respect a lot, because it's not easy, like openly showing who you are and what your color is. And now that she's also sharing about depression, this anxieties that some people would just take it as a joke. I have also, I think, um we also have a friend that also experiences this, and it's not really easy for people. I mean, it's not a joke to really just say, you can just leave that out, or you can overcome that. It's not that easy, because I myself had been in dark times. Like imagine me inside, I'm going to school every single day, just lock myself inside my staff office in my previous school, because we had an office in the student council. So it's like I'm telling my friends, or I'm telling my significant other before, my ex, that I'm going to go to school because this and that. But it's just an escape, because I did something wrong before, and it's something that I'm repenting each day. And it's a huge shout out to everyone, especially to those who are having, as you mentioned, the grave sins. No matter how small or big it is, it's never too late to really change. It's never too late to give up, and it's something that you could really change and make ways to make amend to it. Like every day I lock myself inside that room, and then people will be looking after me, and then my professors, my teachers will be asking me, where are you? And then I'm just saying I'm sick, I'm at home, but actually I'm just waiting for the time before everything. And then I'll go back to my significant others and share like random stories, like, hey, I was this at class, etc., etc., and all of a sudden I was absent, and I was just crying inside the kasama office. It's like our office, and I was just thinking of a lot of dark things, like why did I do that? How could I ever repay? Will it ever change everything? Will it make me a better person? Can I still have the second chance that what I have seen from other movies, etc.? But it's not easy. Up until now, it still haunts me. But somehow, it makes me realize that it's something that I should never be doing again. And yeah, thank you so much for giving us that wonderful story that a lot of us are experiencing, or probably our viewers also have heard from other friends of theirs. And I really admire your mom, especially that moment in time, like our darkest hours. She was so strong in her faith, and her faith not only to God but also in your family itself. And it's not really easy to really um to approach that every day, knowing that something is wrong, but she's looking for a solution. And yeah, our time is 46 minutes past 10, and this is this moment where it's really nice that you have mentioned about how your mom deal with it, and now how you are coping with that as well is really something worth noting for everyone who is also experiencing. Never hesitate to reach out to us, to our friends who are watching. Thank you so much, it means a lot to us. And also, if you have friends just like us, please don't hesitate to talk to us. Or if you also experience that, never hesitate to reach out, because it's never too late to reach out. Or it's not, I know it's difficult at first, and just take your time, just take your time. Don't rush anyone as well, especially people who tend to look at it as, a simple thing. Or diba, we have this circle of friends sometimes that they don't really understand. But this is something that I'm also being challenged when dealing with this, is this toxic positivity sometimes. Na, you can just overcome that, that's easy, you can just or sometimes we have bad influences that iinom mo lang yan, or inuod mo lang yan, ikain mo lang yan. But it's not that easy, it's not that overnight thing that you just take a medicine and then it will go away. It will always reoccur. It's something randomly that will just strike you at some part of our day. Like, like a friend of mine even shared that um he shouted randomly, like, or take my mom as a classic example, or an example. Yesterday she was just outside of the door, she was just staring at the mango tree for, like, I think almost an hour. And she was like, and then I realized, where's mom? And then when I went outside, she was just standing outside and just stare at the mango tree. And then when she turned her back, or when she faced me, she was so red because she was like under the heat of the sun. And then I asked her, why are you standing there? She just said, I want to eat manga. And then she was just too shy to ask, ask help. And then it was so difficult for me to deal with. And then I told her, mom, just go inside, I'll get you manga. But there's no manga pa kasi, because of some of the workers took the mangas, harvested the manga early. So I went outside, I bought her manga, like simple joys. And then those are things that it's really difficult, especially when we talk about health, mental health. It's a different level. I thought it's easier said than done. But I have someone here next to me that I also wanted to cure. And shout out to my best friend who happens to be a guidance counselor. It's also her birthday today. Shout out to Anne Saravia, Anne Ang Saravia, and to her partner, Mark Sarav. Thank you so much. Anne also shared this to me. Like, this conversation starters, the communication is really something that could really build the bridge. It's something that will also patch things up. It may not be an easy route, but it's something that could you could try. And this is the reason why I have this live talk, because sometimes I just wanted to talk about life itself. I want to hear stories from real people, not those that I read from social media or um, like real life stories coming from real individuals that we can learn a thing or two. But and again, that's a really nice. I was really blown away. I didn't expect that much of an information. Knowing from you, Mackie, like this is Mackie. This is the Mackie that I see, colorful cosplayer, like everything, and then this is the other. This is the real Mackie that we're seeing. This is something that we'll be looking back in the future, and this is something that I'm thankful of the technology that we have right now, or this privilege that we have, because it's something that we could look back in the future, and then you can just like slap your face. It's like, oh my god, did I do that? But when you browse it, and then you go to this certain period of this whole conversation, you will say, yeah, that's something that I will not be ashamed of, and it is the strength that we need. As what I just like to share what Ivy has been sharing, had shared on the comment section. She said that sharing your struggles with your mental health, it's a different level of bravery. I couldn't agree more. It takes a lot of courage to be out of the open, especially when you know that not everyone that you expected to understand you and embrace your challenges is the one who refused to understand. At the end of the day, our moms will always be our pillar of support. Fighting Maggie. Oh my god, that's really
Thank
nice.
you, Ivy.
Like a lot, like, yeah, like moms would really understand. The good thing about how mom would deal with her depression, because she has this she's like clinically diagnosed with depression, and some, I think, if I could remember correctly, the psychiatrist, and I even forgot her name. Sorry, doc. But she shared to us, like, there would be really high and lows in the day, within the day, especially when your mom's awake. She said to us that if she's not gonna maintain, like, the maintenance, it's really expensive. Like, dude, I mean, like, Mackie, like, it's not yeah, the bills, the sessions, everything, it's really difficult, and that's why I really want to work hard. Even my brothers, my siblings are also working really hard. We're working really hard for our parents to really repay the deeds, and the love that they have shared with us when we were younger, and it's not easy. And that's something that I really wanted to repay my mom, and it's just being with her. And I'm so thankful with our company as well, for being considerate and thinking of, the work from home setup. Sometimes it's really helpful, especially to me, because earlier she was like, that's why when we had a break, I had to check on her, and then she was like, she was listening, because this behind this tarpaulin is the comfort room, and then it's like one the comfort room is like the division between my room and the room of my mom. But she was like inside the CR. I was so shocked, like, what are you doing there? And she said, wala, nakikinig lang ako sa iyo. Sinong kausap mo? Tas, it's like, nagkain ka na, the random thing. And then she she is someone that would really bring us the source of energy and power to really, kanang, we really wanted to surrender sometimes. Alam mo yung moment na we're gonna play Laney, then Malibu Nights, and then you're gonna cry, like, and then
Oh, Malibu Nights.
hindi Malibog Nights, guys, ha, like,
Malibu Nights, guys.
Malibu Nights, like, that's like my anthem for 4 years. And then I appreciated the song more when I had this huge part of my journey as I past few years. But yeah, God is so good. God is so good. I could share for giving us, like, solutions to any problem. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be this month, but somewhere down the road there will be someone or something that would be the sign of our, that's the guiding light. That's the guiding light that I really wanted to share. And yeah, I would just like to share my brother's comment here also. And huge shout out to my brother. He's currently in Japan right now, and it's uh this is our youngest brother. Um, from my mom. We also have two step siblings. Shout out to our step siblings, Jumong and yeah, a funny name Jumong, named after the Korean king, like
Jumong.
King Jumong. Like of all names, that like we're gonna have that funny conversation in the future as well. Like yeah, it's a nice episode. And I'd really love you to be part of that episode as well. Like we're just gonna laugh out loud. But yeah, shout out to Jumong and Juro. And I this is something that I learned last year as well. I want to spend more time with our siblings as well, our step siblings, because them growing up without without us, but they know they have older siblings, or like um kuyas and ates, but they never had that experience. uh, and I wanted to fill in the gap. It may sound very cheesy and corny, but I salute my brother, especially Traki, who's in Japan right now. He said that depression swallows you, and my respect to those who are fighting and dealing with it every day. He- if I could share Traki also had this episode because um, he grew up without us, because we are already four of us are already here in Davao, and he was left there with our mom back in our province in Tacorong. And then a lot of things happened, and then um also his life is not really easy. He really wanted to go to Japan to really repay um the love of our mom, and he really struggled every day. Like the typical things, like when you read things like, hey, padala ka dito ng ganito ganito, and then they are the ones like, yeah, sure, everything. And then they have, when he went back here in 2019, he shared moments with me, like that's also one of the inspirations of this life talk, when he shared like openly, because he's this very strong looking guy. He's like 5'7", very huge, huge person. And then when he shared to me, like I saw the softness from him, and then he shared like how he was doing in Japan. It's not easy, and then sending money to his partner, and then a lot of things to us. And I told him, Trax, you really don't have to do this. You don't really have to send us, the luxuries or whatever. But a part of him always wanted to do that because he wanted to repay. And it's really nice to hear from my brother now that he's reaching out, and that is something that he taught me, that hey, we also have two siblings. That's why I reach out. I ate my pride, because they're still my blood brothers, despite having them as step siblings. I reach out to them. Hey, if you have free time, let's eat dinner together. Let's catch up. Like, especially to my brother Juro, who's here in Davao. It's really something that I really want to cherish. Especially there are times in our lives that we thought it's the end of it, or we're thinking, especially when you mentioned we were hospitalized. I was also feeling like when I had pneumonia last 2019 as well. Like, it's so difficult. Like, people were saying, yeah, you're just faking it, but when pneumonia strike, it's not easy to breathe. And then when you're coughing, it's like you're coughing your heart out. It's like you're gonna choose, are you gonna cough or you're gonna breathe? And knowing COVID is something like that, I salute those who are surviving this pandemic. But yeah, it's already 11. That was a long story, but it's something that I will really cherish and will look back a lot, because it's something that it's really um inspiring and motivating to listen to, back and forth, rewatching, replaying, and because it's your story, Mac, and it's something that we can't take away. And but something that we can take away are the lessons that you've taught us. And it's this is life talk, guys. This is life, and this is what I really wanted to hear about people. So yeah, we're just gonna have a really short break. We'll be back 5 minutes again. I'll just allow each other to breathe in, breathe out. We're gonna stretch. We're like, woo! I told you that it's gonna be a roller coaster episode, and
I did
thank
not expect that.
you. I was like, okay, I think it's gonna be a funny but cheesy story, but I was like, where are the onion ninjas? Where are the onion ninjas? But yeah, we're just gonna have a short break. You're still here with us, Live Talk with AB, with me, Macky Duran, and me, AB. So stay tuned and don't go away. And we're back, mga friends. Hello mga ka-AB, mga ka-AB normals natin dyan. So, our time is 5 minutes past 11. So, wow, I didn't expect that that
Surprise!
fast. Like, surprise! Tapos na pala yung almost 3 hours na ng ano natin show. So, this is something that I really like about talking. Sometimes it's yung time minsan din natin napapansin it runs so fast when we have are having conversations, and then yun din nakakamiss minsan when yung face to face na coffee sessions, and yun din yung minsan na mga people would not have tawag dito, yun yung they miss having back yung alam mo yung face to face na having coffee, or if you're hanging out with your friends sometimes sa favorite bars ninyo, or the physical presence din minsan parang nakakamiss din talaga, especially alam mo yung mga random things na minsan
Yeah.
ulit na lang yung pag-usapan nyo, yung the same stories, the same thing na parang, huy, na-remember mo yung ano, tapos sabi ko, you as an observer sometimes like, wait lang, di ba yan din yung sinare niya last week? Pero parang, okay, I'm not gonna pop their bubbles, but yeah, parang yun din
It's
talaga.
actually not the topic, but the company of persons that you're
Mm,
having. It's really
it's
the best feeling ever.
Kaya minsan ako din, that's one thing that I really miss from everything. Kaya yun, I'm so grateful pa rin to the opportunity that we could still go out, like yun, may social distancing lang, pero yung the thought of you seeing people, other people aside from the four corners is somehow helpful. Yun din na sabi mo kanina na it's not easy at first, pero when you know there are friends, like especially even virtually, we tend to meet. Pero yung nakakaano talaga, nakaka-hype, and it's really refreshing. And huge shout out to Hazel Eborde, and also to Miss Anne Catherine. Yeah, so Miss Anne
Hi,
Catherine,
dear.
showing some love, so sending hugs from Hazel, and also hindi kasi makita dito sa sa comments natin
Yeah.
to StreamYard, parang okay, yes, okay, blank, pero hugs and hearts from Anne Catherine. Yun din talaga, hopefully Anne Catherine in the future would join us sa mga anime sessions,
Yes.
pero mga ano yung mga haiku, yeah, mga haiku moments, anime on
Yes, I do.
anime on Titan. I was like, anime on Titan, yes, anime on Titan. Speaking of Attack on Titans, guys. So anyways, this is the last hour. So tapos na po yung ating mga heartbreaking moments. So balik na naman tayo sa hype moments. Yun naman, ayoko naman parang parang hindi, I didn't sign up for this. Parang
Yes.
tama na, parang it really hurts. Mag TikTokers ka, girl. But anyways, yeah, yun diba, shoutout sa mga TikTokers dyan. I thought it was easy, but when I had my first ever TikTok video, hindi ko siya magsabay. Pero yun ba, shoutout to all iconics, to Natasha song, di ba? Not.
Hi,
Yun,
Tosh.
I use UMAD. I used UMAD as my music. Parang hindi pa nagsabay, para sabi ko, oh, okay, ito. Dapat pagtapon ko ng cards. I don't know if you have seen that. Ginawa ko lang my day. I don't want to post that video para mataga, para okay, my day lang to. Kailangan ko lang gawin. Hindi pa nagsabay, dapat yung parang you man, parang yung sa chord, yung sa build, tas yung pag-drop ng music
Oo.
dapat yun. Parang early, okay, epic fail. So huge shout out sa mga nagti-TikTok diyan. I need your tutorials, pero I'm gonna study more. But addictive pala siya, no? Like addicting
I
talaga.
actually posted 2 TikTok videos, and it was like, girl, I didn't. No. Okay na yun. That was like, stop.
Okay.
Stop right
Uh,
there.
I'm interested in doing like alam mo yung mga DJ challenges, or ganun na mga content sa TikTok. Pero yung mga
Yeah.
dance challenges minsan parang alam mo yun, me and my
Jowa. It was like, girl, wala kang jowa. Like, me
me
and
and myself. Like, corny content. Report user. Block. Hindi talaga block na ba? Report user. Tapos magulat
Out.
ka na ma-disable yung account mo. Shoutout to Facebook, please. Ibalik nyo na ang first account. But yeah,
Oh.
it really hurts talaga hanggang ngayon. 4 days na lang. Alam mo yung countdown na masakit? Yung countdown na ma-delete na din yung account ko. Sabi ko, please. Tapos meron pa, ito, funny contact that I shared with my, yung concierge from Facebook. Hindi ko na mention name niya. I'm not gonna send you the feedback unless you're gonna help me. Yung sabi ko, girl, please don't send me email macros. Parang, girl, macro ka, girl. Tapos nag-closing
We've
spiel.
been used to receiving macro email and we're like, stop. Pwede dili
Girl,
na po macro emails.
as in, girl, share niyo pa rin na, ang concern, ito. This portion of live talk is like a transition of recap. Earlier, before we continue with the macros, let's pause muna doon. Just to recap sa mga kaka-view lang, we're discussing earlier about love wins, and love wins ni Maki was about her mom, and that's something that's really special. And she shared about um, how her mom was being very patient, um, fighting the inner demons and the actual demons, in the form of the grave sins that sometimes people would commit, and repenting, allowing repentance, and allowing the hands of God to do the magic, and also as human beings, being forgiving but not forgetting, but learning from those as well. And that's the gist that I really wanted to point out from what Mackie have shared from the stories, and it's really worth admiring, worth going back and forth, and worth sharing. And then if Mackie would allow me to share this again to other people, like, hey, if watch episode 5 of Live Talk, and then it's a really nice story, and it's something that a lot of us would really appreciate, especially our moms. You shout out to our moms. There are single moms or mom potentials. Ay, mom potentials, parang weird. I mean,
Something
no,
wrong.
wrong. Oh, we're live po, technical difficulties sa brain ko. I mean,
What?
sa mga new moms pala. Anong potential moms?
Mom's at heart. Mom's at heart.
Mom, she bells natin dyan. Parang wrong talaga yung potential mo. Anong potential? May potential ka maging mom. No, sorry, pero yun pa yung share.
Ana.
And yun shout out pala sa aking very good friend, Sarah Manyos Kasuyom, um, and also Libni Fortuna. If you guys have spare time, you can visit their page. It's Becoming Triggerless. They are actually like 70% of the inspiration behind Life Talk are these two amazing women, Sarah Suyom and also Livni Fortuna. They've been sharing about how self love is really important, and self work, and that is my daily struggle. I really have to work on myself as well. And then from listening to their podcast as well, grabe talaga yung ano niya. Alam mo yung mga ganito lang, like simple conversation, pero ito yung mga things na mas may natututunan ka compared to sometimes yung, alam mo,
True.
when you tend to read a lot of theories, and it's something that you can't really digest, or you're trying to digest it because it's your requirement. Pero when you listen to stories, sometimes parang mas nag-stick pa siya sa ating core memories, and yun din talaga those are the things that I am inspired of from Miss Sarah Suyom and Libni Fortuna of Becoming Triggerless. So I'm gonna post it on my page always. So if they're live, I'm gonna share their posters as well. She mentioned, or she commented on my post. She said, "Love and relationships are always fun to chat about, but that she has a different opinions that are often disruptive and unconventional." Trust me, guys. If you have spare time, sometimes they have this special. Ligni Fortuna had a guest, Ellen Adarna. It was really fun to rewatch, and grabe talaga yung mga learnings dun. And those are real talk. Like, where's the tea? Where's the tea? So Lemon
The
Cares and Co. Yeah, but think product
product
placement.
placement.
Pero, you shout out talaga. I swear, it's the happy lemon because of Lemon Cares and Co. product placement. but
Again.
this portion is brought to you by Lemon Cares and Co. This is their page. But yeah, you shout out to Mel and Gab. I really was looking for something healthy as my alternative because UTI is real. Like girl,
Super
like marag sakit naman natin mga likod kalikuran diha. But yeah, this
patay.
part of life talk is wrapping up of things, and yun din yung mga shoutouts from our friends and comments as well that we're gonna read. Here's a question from a random person, hindi na natin i-mention. Yeah, minsan kasi may mga ano fini-filter nila the question. A question from Hannah. She asked like, from the pandemic, what are your goals this year and how would you achieve them? So, ano din yung mga life goals mo this year? If you ever have
Mm,
one, or are you the kind of person who plans out, or are you the go with the flow, or
yeah.
shout out to Sabay sa Alon?
Woo! Sabay salon.
Sa Alon, sponsor product placement.
Yeah. Again.
Shout out to my brother, yeah, and Luigi, Aranda, and the
Hello,
whole
brother.
SSA fam for the huge tarp. Thank you sa patarp natin dyan, mga mayors. Kailangan to ilagay dyan, shout out sa mga major sponsors nating show, di ba? Kung wala ang sabay sa Alon, walang show. Wow, parang laki talaga na. But anyways, pero yun, the question again, what are your life goals this year and how would you achieve them?
Yeah, actually I have plans with my friend because we are actually like planning to go somewhere. Pero that is one of our goals for next year. We actually planned this year. We actually planned that this year. Our goal is to like go to Thailand and like siguro be a local excuse me, I'm sorry. Be a local and
Mm,
try to live with our culture and at the same time work.
work.
So yeah, work and study actually. And
Mm,
yeah, try to be local, trying to be a local and actually it's because of the Thai series that we actually
okay.
love the culture of
Watch it.
Thailand. Yeah, actually we have such a lot of places that we really want to go, and one of them is Thailand. Then another is Korea and Japan.
Yeah.
I
Correct.
think yeah, actually I think most of us or most of the viewers right now are into like going somewhere outside the Philippines. So yeah, that is actually one of our major goals. But as of now, siguro ang plano ko is to pass the licensure examination for teachers because yeah actually um me and my friend we are planning to to go to a review center to prepare for the let exam this coming September because
September, right?
yeah, the first batch is for March and since the last year's uh let examination was like postponed, so
Mm.
they were catering last year's applicants, so
Yeah, for the
yeah. And for September ano kami na batch, so yeah, hopefully makapasar and everything will
manifest.
yes manifest that kind of energy. And yeah, after that, if ever that God will permit that we will pass, everything shall go as it is and our plans will go right through after. So yeah.
Correct. That's we're going to achieve that goal, and that's really nice. And yeah, you mentioned about Thailand, and I am really fascinated. You also mentioned about BL series. I think one of my podcasts before, you shared that um you love BL series, and for our
Yeah.
viewers, especially to those individuals who are not familiar, what is BL series and why do you like watching BL series?
Actually BL stands for Boys Love Series, and it's actually it's not just BL series in Thailand that I really love, but also BL series in Korea and Japan. and also in China. They also have like series like that, but it's more like rampant in Thailand.
Thailand.
Korea's, yeah, in Korea and Japan, they are starting to adapt to that, but the quality is really amazing. The storylines, the lessons itself, it's not just about like
The
boys love.
actors.
Yeah, the it's not just the casting. It's not just the term boys love. It's not just about that. It all of them, or like the denominator is that it talks more of self issues and
Oh,
society's issues in general, which is like I was more hooked into. But well, the casting and the storyline and the setting is just a bonus. But um the main reason that I really watch them, it's because of the real life setting or the real life issues that they are dealing with, the self issues, the society's issues,
alright.
um that is very rampant in Thailand, that is also really very
Happening here.
applicable here. Yes, happening here, and it's also applicable in our everyday lives. So yeah, every time I watch them, every time I tend to like watch and rewatch series like that. I could really say that yeah, this is like a part of me is like that. Like, oh, there are series or there are some scenes from that series that really that really fits me. It really fits the shoe. So yeah, it's more. I'm more hooked into the issues, the story, and everything rather than just the actors itself and the actors themselves. Yeah.
Sure ka. Tikman. Sure ka.
Yoy, yoy, grabe. Plus,
Yeah.
actually, to be honest with you, I really followed a lot of Thai
I
actors
actor.
rather than yeah, Thai actors, and of course kasali na dyan yung mga idols and everything. But I'm following their lives. I'm following them on Instagram. So yeah.
So that's really something that I'm also looking forward to watch, and it's something. It's a really sensitive issue, especially to a lot of us here in a conservative country. And yeah, it's a nice topic to discuss again in the next podcast, probably, so we can also prepare on the hard hitting questions again regarding the views and opinions of people, and how how the society view LGBTQ, and especially the everyday struggles. Yeah, we're gonna yan yan. Yes, I'm gonna watch. I think I'm gonna start with the one. I think the one, to be honest with you, I'm really open with this to all of my viewers, that they know that I have this feminine side of me, and I'm metrosexual. When we say metrosexual, I'm into fashion, I'm into makeup, and I don't get, I don't have this cringe that some people are. I'm really comfortable being around with LGBTQ. I watch Shelter, um, Blue is the warmest color, and other films that has those certain Lino Broca films, Pepe Gallaga's films, and a lot of local films that has those sensitive issue. She died beautiful. I think that was the title. And those films are something, or um Rainbow Sunset. Yeah, Rainbow Sunset. That was the last film that I watched, that I'm so fascinated and so wanting to do, since I'm also a how do you call this, a frustrated filmmaker myself. Short filmmaker. Na-start lang yung self-proclaimed, like, manifest. I proclaim magiging filmmaker ako. But yeah, I'm just waiting for my setup so that I can start with my short filmmaking. So watch out. Pipirma ng kontrata in the future si Maki to be one of the stars.
Oh,
May
I would.
kontrata. Pero sa Thailand ka na yan. But yeah, I'm really fascinated. I was inspired by Wong Fu Productions. If you're not familiar with Wong Fu Productions, you can Google it. You can search it on YouTube. It's Wong Fu Productions. I don't know if makakomment ako, but yeah, it's Wong Fu Productions. Ay, pwede ko pala lagay sa ticker. Parang,
Oh,
ang talino ko. Wait lang. We're gonna type it here. Um, Wong Fu Productions. Yeah. So yeah, Wong for Productions. Yeah, Wong for Productions. You can search it on YouTube. Watch their short films. I'm really inspired of doing those kind of short films. It's Asian inspired. So I mean, a lot of Asians could relate because it's from Asia. That was a lousy joke, but anyways, Wong for
oh shoot!
the
I did
shade,
not.
the
All right.
shade. Pero yun, now let's ask another question coming from ADL. So ADL asks here to your guest, Kuya Ash, please ask, how do you handle stress, especially at pandemic? Yes, parang ito ba yung last month ko na team, but yeah, how do you handle stress, especially now in this pandemic, and what are the things that you do?
Actually, that was like a good question. That's actually a great question. It's really hard for me to handle stress, but I like the things that I just uh do the things that I love, like of course eating, watching Netflix, and actually this is actually one of the things that I really do. I actually really love to go outside and meet with my friends, and yeah, I really 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 miss them so much. That's why my friends are one of the stress relievers, aside from my mom, who I really love and who really supports me a lot. I have friends who really also supports me and also listens to me with my rants and everything. I know all of us have like different rants in life, but yeah, like we have like friends who love to like listen to us and like say, yes, in siya, man, like they are riding with your wavelength, and we have that friends who are like vibing with you and like wants to be with you there with your by your side like the whole time. Like yeah, it's actually one of the things that I really love to when I want to release some stress. Yeah, watching Netflix, eating, listening. Actually, one of this is actually I forgot, listening to K-pop songs. I'm actually a K-pop fan. I'm a So1, I'm a fan of Girls' Generation. I'm a Blackjack, a fan of
Okay.
2NE1. Yes, I'm actually a YG stan, an YG and SM stan to be specific. So yeah, yes, YG stands where you at. Yeah, but I prefer more of the like the second
Second
generation of
gen.
K
Yeah.
second gen Girls' Generation to anyone, Super Junior, Shiny, Big Bang, EXO, what else?
BTS.
I,
Ah!
I,
Uy!
oh, that's pretty right. Oh my God. Well, before yeah, to be honest with you, before I was listening to No More Dream and just one day from
Sartora.
them and
Sartora.
Until Danger and I Need You. But later that year, I like low key, because of yeah, because of certain issues with the fandom and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I lie low. But yeah, more than that, I'm a K-pop fan. I'm a super K-pop fan. I love Girls' Generation to anyone. Wonder Girls, Miss A, Tiara, Kara. Name all of the second generation K-pop girl groups and boy bands. Yeah, I
Uh,
can name all of them. Yeah.
yeah. I could I also remember the time when I saw you in the Pepsi concert. And I'm just gonna share this because a lot of you guys, Mackie and her friends were also there, and also I think your teammates, Anne was also there.
So, yeah, shout out to AMN! Woo!
Woo! Shout out! Shout. Um,
Loki-loki lang siya, pero
Uy, parami naman dyan, parami naman. Eh,
mayroon naman dyan eh.
sweldo na, sweldo is waving. Malapit na sweldo, Wednesday. Anyways,
Oh,
yeah,
lala.
if you don't know, ito, you will know now, Maki is also a fan of SB19. So, sana mga 18 dyan, 18, atin, atin.
Yeah, actually, I made a reaction. Actually, this is not a made up reaction video, but this was a video that was my friend actually took a video of me like reacting to one of their like performances, and I was like, that was I was like in my like EXO shirt, like Kai 88. That was,
What
I was
88?
wearing that shirt, and I was like wearing shorts. I was in the house, in our house, the house of my aunt before. Then my friend like she like secretly took a video of me. Then when I turned around at her like, girl, did you just took a video of me? Then she posted it on she posted it on
Post it,
Facebook.
post
Yeah,
it.
she posted it on she posted that on Facebook, then it became viral, and then she posted it on YouTube on her account, and it also went viral. I was like, what what was I doing, guys?
Like,
So
the
yeah,
reputation, the dignity. Sayonara kudasai.
you're not gonna say.
Yeah, but just to tell you, before, not that I'm bragging, I've known Josh and Stel because um, when they were
Yes,
still low key Big Bang fanboys and also the cover groups before with I don't know if you know Seon with
yeah, say
Ken the
say
Gus
on.
Ken the Chua, shout out to Gel Villanueva. Oh my god, Jelu OG fanboy mo pa rin ako. Like when I attended concert of Big Bang way back in 2015, I saw them walking. Alam mo naka VIP sila because they won the cover dance group, so they have
Yeah,
the access. So nakita ko sila. The first person I saw was Josh. Kasi si Josh yung madali mo lang ma-recognize, and then si Stel kasi yung before. Hindi pa siya yung Stel ngayon. So parang syempre ngayon
yeah,
para,
yeah,
oh, go up ka girl. You
yeah.
shout out to
The visuals.
shout out to Stel and shout out to Josh, and also ito si uh Paulo Nase, aka si
Sejun.
Sejun. Also nakasama namin yan. I mean, one of the nag-apply din sa if you could remember Harlan show, yung kasama ko sa yung nag-cover group
Yeah,
kaming
yeah.
dalawa with I forgot the name ng kasama ko sa maid sa Making All Dreams Everlasting. Feeling talaga ng mga singers like shit. Oh my gosh. Ay, the cringe. Hindi ko na ma-delete yung mga videos. Like, nasa YouTube siya always like, oh, lalo na yung sa Tagum K-pop Society. Oh my God. Shout out to TKS, sa mga K-pop fandoms natin dyan.
Yes.
Sa YG Family Mindanao, sa Blackjack Mindanao, sa mga OG na mga fangirls dyan. Mga kasama ko sila Ivy, sila Myra, sila Van, si Van. Uy, Van, inaantay na namin yung baby mo. We're so excited. Pangalanan natin siya, Uncle YG. Joke. Tatang YG.
Uy!
Tatang
Yang
YG. Yang yung sok. pero yun talaga very funny talaga yung moment yung when I knew na magkakaroon siya ng concert dito sa, I mean, it's not really concert. I was not able to join their first fan meet dun sa may NCC Buhangin, and then dun sa may Almendras when they in this RMC gym yung nagkaroon siya ng fan meet. Pero yun, I was so honored na at least nag-reply si Josh. Josh, baka naman, 'di ba? Baka naman, baka gusto mo mag-guest. Malay
slide
mo
me a
lang.
DM.
Uh,
Slide me a DM.
slide ng DM. Yeah, WhatsApp. Which is miss. Pero yeah, funny experience or memory ko nun yung sa Pepsi concept. 'Di ba I had my DSLR. Alam mo yung parang gusto ko na talaga mag-take ng photos. All of a sudden, alam mo yung mga tao, alam mo parang K-pop na K-pop yun, ano, parang staff ako naka-black din. Tapos mga tao doon naka-black. So, sabi ko yung mga taga-Pepsi, di ba naka-black sila and all the Pepsi concert. So, like, wala, take lang ng photo. And then all of a sudden, sabi na, kuya, dito, sir, dito, picture. Tapos sabi ko, photographer ako? So if you could remember me, di ba,
Oh my God!
I was actually faking everything. I wasn't even taking video. Sabi ko, wala na nga akong battery. But, okay, wave, hi! Hi. And then, yung producer or yung one of the main staff ng Pepsi, si Sir, I forgot the name, Arnold, something, from Manila, Pepsi Manila. Yung
Yeah.
Chinese guy, na may camera din, he was asking for copies of the photo. So syempre parang at first I was faking it, parang okay, smile sa camera, video tapos nag-English ako kasi alam mo parang hindi
Yeah.
pa pre-pandemic pa yan, so
To
syempre parang
blend
face
in.
di ba parang K-popperist, parang staff ako o SB19 what's up. So syempre majority ng mga K-pop fans or parang hala
Yeah.
K-pop. Sabi niya, hala, oh, ulzang. So parang feel ko, ulzang. Pero walay tulog kay gigan og work. Pato, di
Bante
ba?
straight from work, jud to ba? Grabe.
Hey, taxi is real. So
Yeah,
pag kumalat,
semblana. Hello.
tapos init pa dyan ka ito, tapos dugay kayo sa pasulod. So I was taking
Ganyan.
the video, faking everything. So sabi ko lang, sige, smile. But actually, after that producer, Sir Arnold, tapped me, like, ay, you know, pati ng mga shots mo. So sabi ko, shit, ito po, I'm still, looking for the perfect lighting and everything. Okay, later on, I'll be giving you a pass. So ko, pass? Like, bigyan ako ng ID. Kaya nagkaroon ng
Ah,
pass. And then, yung pagdating ng mga friends ko, they were so shocked. Yung mga hi pala sa mga fellow 18s ko sa Wing. Yan, sila Christine, sila, grabe na shock sila na, Ash, ba't nasa loob ka na? Kasi part ako ng team. Parang, ooh! So yung sabi ko na, tapos after nun, I started actually making the videos na taking photos na up until now, hindi pa rin binabalik yung aking SD card. Kailangan ko na-upload yun kasi madaming magagandang shots
oh.
dito. At saka
Shoutout sa naghawak ng SD card niya.
shout out sa kuya ko, asan na akong SD card, ibalik
SD card niya po, balik na.
pero yun talaga, it was a funny, alam mo yung parang, video. Kaya, take note sa mga friends natin dyan, bring with you your camera, especially mga events. Try to take photos randomly, malay nyo, di ba? Parang may special, kung hindi lang ako antok nun, merong meet and greet with SB19 niya, at saka si Tatang and sayang talaga, it was a nice experience. Pero yun talaga, Macky and I have been acquainted since K-pop, and we've been friends since K-pop conventions, K-pop meetups, YG, I think Big Bang anniversary, 10th anniversary. Yun, tapos yung shoutout pa kay Franz. Tama ba, Franz? Ano yung pangalan yung dalawang chikiting na
Yeah,
mga,
si Francine and si Franz Rafael at saka si Bella.
si Bella, like, Bella is like, hindi na, Bella. Like,
Oo.
like sila yung mga OG na parang, because before we were handling events for YG entertainment groups like Big Bang, 21, Winner, and Icon. Also Lehigh before, high school from Epic High, Psychotics. Pero yun, madami talaga mga fandoms na ginawa namin ng mga events, and then Macky and her friends were also joining, like yes, si Tash, yung si Francine, si Bella, like hindi talaga expected, like chikiting, like seryoso ka. And then grabe talaga, naging OG fans sila. Pero ngayon I feel ko pa rin mga Blackpink people sila. Blackpink in your air. Blackpink pa
Yeah.
rin ba sila?
YG Stan.
YG
They're still
Stan pa rin.
YG Stan. Yeah.
Siyempre si Nat. So Nat, baka naman, baka gusto mo maki-spell sa amin in the future. So
I besh.
we're gonna have reaction videos as well, and I'm so I also inviting people like Yan L to also have, because the beauty about how do you call this, the beauty about StreamYard is you can actually do this. So this is the first time we're going to showcase this to our viewers, so that alam nyo yung mga magiging potential, nandito na naman yung potential, bakit ang
Potential
lakas?
na naman.
Uy,
Potential
mama!
moms.
Hashtag potential moms. So mga hashtag magiging potential moms dyan, sigaw sigaw, what's up? So according sa SB90, gotta go up, what's up? So yun po. So ito yung mga pwede nila, ito yung pwede, just let me know if you in the comment section if you could see us um, doing a reaction video. Yan. Can you hear it as well?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, correct, di ba? So, di ba? Medyo ano lang,
Medyo, oo.
naman. Pero, okay naman medyo slow lang kasi try natin. 144 para masakit yung mata niyo. So naka 1.5 playback speed lang siya kaya baka maka-copyright tong aking video. So sayang din, sayang. O di ba? So may 2160p pa tayo. So maganda ating monitor per. Yun, this is one of the things that we're gonna have in the future. Hopefully Yan Yan and your Beshi Waps would also join us spazzing mga upcoming mga reaction videos like we're going to stands and those are the things we're be expecting this March. The last question for our guest, Mackie. And this is a personal question for me. So, considering that you have shared love wins, what are your messages to everyone, especially to your friends, to our viewers? That how do you how do you define love, especially at this time of the pandemic? Alam mo parang love in the time of cholera ni basta I forgot the name of the author pero yun lang gusto ko wala lang gusto ko lang i-share yun para may relevance. Pero yeah, what is love for you and what are your message for our viewers especially at this love month? Yan.
Yeah, as yeah, I'll just reiterate what love wins for me. It's actually my mother's love. That is the most powerful kind of love that I have, and that is something that I really cherish about, and that is something that I'm really happy that I have also, and I know that our viewers are also having that same kind of love that they have towards their mother, or towards anyone that they love. So yeah, message is that when you love someone, you just have to like be yourself, and show to them who you're made of, and everything will go through. And yeah, even if your significant other, or say your family or your friends might have the same depressive episodes or anything, that they have like problems or anything, support them. That is one of the best things, or the best feelings that we could have, or we could possibly feel, the love and the support from each other. That is something that is irreplaceable. That is something that is indestructible for me. The love and the support for each other, and love is actually not discriminatory. Um, Love who you want to love, and yeah, I think that's it.
And that's contestant number one, everyone. Pero
I
yun
think.
I think. Pero yun, thank you so much, Mackie, for being so game. Especially one of my avid supporters din talaga. I couldn't repay everything talaga sa mga sa mga good things, even passing by sa mga streams ko sometimes, like even reacting, it's so heartwarming knowing that ito yung mga ganitong mga feeling na you you least expect pero nakakaano talaga nakaka-boost ng confidence. And I'm so glad that I have you as my first guest for this month. And those are really nice stories that you have shared with us, especially sa mga fellow journalists natin. So ito ba yung mga tawag sa mga supporters ko, journalists? It's journey with Liz. So we always embark with our life's journey, and we write them down. So we're like taking down notes, or we put them in our journey list, or in a journal. Journal. Sorry. I'm just playing with words. Pero journalist talaga. Parang journalist is like, journalist. You put them in journal. Pero ito, we'll list our journeys. Parang we share our journeys. Parang yan, diba, journalist. Pinag-isipan ko pa yan, girl. Pero yan po, kaysa naman abnormals, diba? Hey, what's up mga ka-abnormals?
Pwede rin.
Actually, yun talaga, AB normals talaga, because there's always two sides of the coin. Yun yung part ng life talk. There's always the darker side, and also there's also the light side. So gusto natin yung makita, because we're humans. Tulad yung sa Inside Out. Ito always ko talaga minamention. Pixar, baka naman yung Inside Out, yung we always have different emotions, and we should not only choose one emotion all the time. Kasi we really have to take care of ourselves. Yung sinabi kanina talaga na I mean, napakaganda ni Ivy, sabi ro na sharing your struggles with your mental health is a different level of bravery. Yun din talaga. So we really have to salute our sadness, our disgust. I mean, minsan nandidiri tayo, or even yung mga fears natin and yung anger natin. You really have to manage them and to control them at some point. And even our happiness. Yung sobrang OJ minsan, parang happy lang, happy lang. Parang minsan parang ang saya mo, parang it becomes toxic as well. So yun din talaga. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to wait lang. So may nakalista talaga dito. So you're gonna have a very special goodies na ipapadala natin this coming hopefully this end of month. It's gonna be a small token of appreciation to all of my guests. It's saan na yun? Wait lang. I'm gonna send you something over the chat, over the chat pala. So this is something that my cousin all the way from Manila, yeah, Manila, and
Manila.
yeah, Manila. So this is a huge shout out to my cousin Sofia Rodriguez of delay ata yung aking video.
Oh.
Wait lang. This is Rocas Pequeñas. So it's a bracelet anklet. They have bracelet anklets and also necklaces. So I'll be sharing you the catalogs. Some of the catalogs, but
Wow.
COD lang, COD. Hindi, joke lang. I'm gonna send you as a token of my appreciation to all of my guests. Kung yung mga taga states ko na mga guests in the future, like shout out to Anna De Luna of Won't Play Your Heart 3. Thank you so much for the love and support. And also J Prime from all the way in Jersey. He's gonna be my guest on episode number 6. It's gonna be throwback all the time, all the way. But yeah, this is an example of the bracelet. So it's made
Oh,
out
that's
of
pretty.
this is my this is steel, so it's anchor. So syempre gusto ko sana iangat yung aking ankle kasi I'm really like an indigenous person kind of guy na madami akong mga burloloys, even if naka semi formal ako, may mga anklets ako, because it's like something to remind me of my battles. And then ito yung mga simple joys ko, and I also wanted to share yung mga ito yung mga tawag natin na friendship bracelets or friendship
Oh.
mga things. So thank you so much, Mackie. And any activities or any promotions or products that you would like to to share,
Promotions?
take your time, or baka you're looking for referrals. Now is the right time.
Wow! Guys! Good thing you said that. Guys, apply na kayo sa Awesome OS. Our
Also,
company. Yeah, we have like amazing referral bonuses, sign up bonuses coming our way. So yeah, slide us some DMs, guys, if you want.
I'm also gonna share the socials, and please send me your social media account na gusto mo i-share ko.
Yeah.
Syempre, you have your personal account, you don't want ano, pero if you want to be to show to showcase all of your social media. You can share them so I could also post. And also yun po, as mentioned, you shout out to all our friends from Awesome OS Incorporated. We're currently hiring. This is not a paid sponsorship. This is like
No, we're not getting paid for this.
again, join us in our company. It's Awesome OS. You can just visit them on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/Awesome OS Inc. INC. That's Awesome OS INC. Yes, that's the name of the company. Yes, that's the name of the company. Let's not mention about the ID. But
Yeah.
yeah, pero yeah, we're currently hiring. If you know anyone, you can have Macky Duran as your referral. Again, if the interviewer will be asking you, um, mention Macky Duran or Macky Duran. Yun lang po talaga, ano. And also, speaking of activities, I want to also share one of my tokens as well. You're gonna receive one samyang of your choice, and also
Wow.
yes, ganyan. Thank you po sa mga sponsors natin. Thank you sa Bar sa Alon for hin, so syempre wala siyang mga mga freebies pa ngayon. We're currently and also you shout out to Sabay sa Alon for sponsoring this evening show and Little Adventurers if you're into anime, you're looking for anime authentic collectibles like One Piece toys and anything from Japan. You could also ask like if you want something to be checked in anime stores in Japan, you can also send them a DM on their official Facebook page. It's on the link in the description. It's www.facebook.com/little adventurers ph. So they currently have a huge collection of Attack on Titan like chibi toys. They also have One Piece collections. They have what else? Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer. So to all those anime or otaku fans, you can also check them out. And to surfers or those who also would like to check out Sabay sa Alon, that's www.facebook.com/ride the vibes. So yeah, basically those are the sponsors. And also before I forget, yeah, so you're gonna and also. So I would also like to thank Happy Lemon for sponsoring this night's show or everyday show. And also, yeah, but lagi ko nagsasabi tong and also. So
Dami ba?
uh, ito po Lemon Cares and Co by Gab and also Melanie. So these are all natural. I just poured hot water. So this is a hot, warm lemon tea. So ito yung totoong ano talaga lemon shreds or how do you call this? Kung si mama pa atsara. Pero I tell you, so you will be receiving one samyang of your choice. Just give me the flavor, and also the lemon from Lemon Cares and Co. And also the Rocas Pequeñas bracelet or anklet that you would like to have. And thank you very much for the sponsors of tonight's show. And also shout out to Sangguniang Kabataan ng Barangay Mintal for inviting me as their shoutcaster earlier from their tournament for a cause. And also would like to make a huge shout out to all my workmates and to all my partner, my girlfriend, Honey Tagupa. Thank you so much for
Sana
your love
all.
and for your love and support, and happy Valentine's to everyone. And last shout outs to your friends and to your to anyone that you would like to mention.
Yeah, shout out to Yan Yan. She's actually my best friend. Hi, girl. And also to Ate L. She's also, actually, si Ate L was actually one of also the members of YGFM before. If I don't know if you know her, but she was also one of our dear friends from YGFM. And yeah, to also to AM Ann, who's watching right now. Hi, AM. And also to my friends a while ago. Hi, guys. So, yun.
So yeah. So again, thank you so much for everybody who watch with us. And don't worry, we're gonna post the replay on my official YouTube channel. YouTube girl, YouTube channel.
Wow!
www.youtube.com/ashbulldoglagon. So we could rewatch everything. Pardon the editing, hindi pa po natin masyado napapolish. We're just going to upload everything in raw. But hopefully when my PC setup would arrive this March, everything will be better. And this is not the first time we're gonna see each other. Mackie and I will have a lot of episodes in the future. And also, if you know someone who would like to be featured in Live Talk, don't hesitate because starting next week, I'm gonna have a Friday show. Still same time, it's 9 to 12 here in Philippine Standard Time. So if you know anyone, we're gonna talk anything under the sun, but on every Sunday it's gonna be something something that's related to the theme, which is love wins this month. So basically those are the things that I would like to talk about this, and to conclude everything, life isn't about only the good and bad. There's always in something in between. Those are the things that makes life colorful. And Mackie showed us that there's more to life. Despite the ups and downs, the trials, the hurdles that she encountered in her journey, it's something that we really have to remind and to tell ourselves that we can do it the next day. And um, it's not something to be ashamed of that we also experience those downfalls, because from those downfalls we learn. From those learnings we move forward, and we try to muster up, and we thank our friends and also those who are really there to really support us from everything that we do, no matter how funny, no matter how small or big it is. We thank you for being there. And most especially our parents, our moms. Shout out and huge salute to all our moms out there. You are our strength. You are our daily source of energy and inspiration to be the best versions of ourselves. So you shout out to my mom, to my aunt in Arizona, to Uma, to um also to Mia and Tito Frank, and also to all my relatives who are watching. Thank you so much for supporting me in this podcast. You can also send me messages so that we could talk about it, and you can also be guests. And Mackie, I could never describe you even more. There's a lot of positive adjectives that I could mention, but
Oh,
you are now a certified journalist, and you are welcome to the family. And keep on doing those journeys, and don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm a DM away. DM lang po, swipe
yes.
swipe up for DMs. And yeah, to all the fans and supporters, thank you so much. And 3 minutes before we hit 12, um those are the things that we have learned, and we hope that you have learned a thing or two, and you can still comment your learnings, your answers, and I'll be reading them and will be replying to you. And there are a lot of PMs that I am so sorry I haven't read a lot of PMs from other people, because I was so engulfed. I was so absorbed by the story of our guest here, Mackie, and that's basically it. So thank you so much, everyone. Be wealthy, make all your dreams everlasting. Be made. That's be made. Be something that you are, and don't get scared of life, because we only have one shot in this life. We are here to live. We're here to experience life, and let's enjoy life together. So adios everyone, and this is your boy AB saying sayonara, matsalam, maraming salamat po, daghang salamat, and goodbye.
Bye.